Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're going to be talking all about audiobooks. So I became an audiobook lover probably like last year. I used to find audiobooks kind of hard for me to like pay attention and listen to it, but then something clicked in me last year and I became totally obsessed with audiobooks, and I want to share with you my favorites that I have read in the past probably year and a half. So the first audiobook I want to talk to you about, which is actually the audiobook that kind of inspired this video, and that is Lights Out. So Lights Out, it is a dark, kind of fun little romance. It does have darker themes, but it's done in such a funny, playful way. I follow Josh, and Josh is completely obsessed with Allie. He kind of just stalks her and kind of thrusts himself into her life, and the audiobook was 10 out of 10. I absolutely adored it. It is voiced by Jacob Morgan, and I've read a few of his narrations, and I think he is my favorite narrator. Jacob just speaks to me so much more than Teddy Hamilton. I think his voice is so hot. Lights Out is dual narration, so they talk back and forth with each other, which I absolutely love. I hate when the male narrator tries to talk in a female voice and vice versa. It icks me so bad. So here we don't have that. Here we have them actually talk to each other. I think it made the audiobook so much more immersive and amazing. I laughed out loud so many times. These narrators really just brought the story to life, and I feel like if I went into this book, maybe reading it physically, I don't think I would have liked it as much, because sometimes the dialogue in Lights Out is a little bit cringy and cheesy, but I feel like the narrators just made it so much more fun, and I had the best time listening to this book. I give this book like 4 out of 5 stars. Crazy things that happen in this book, but it's honestly just such a light read. Like, it's like the lightest dark romance you'll ever read, and I loved it. It was so freaking good. In the future, I can see myself rereading these books on audiobook. The sequel, Cutout, comes out in June, so I'm so excited to listen to that. If you just want to tune out the world and just go fly into an audiobook, I highly recommend Lights Out. I don't read a lot of romance audiobooks, so when I picked up Wildfire last year for the summertime, I feel like Wildfire was the first romance audiobook that I completely fell in love with. Changed the romance audiobook game for me. Wildfire is about 2 summer camp counselors who reconnect at summer camp after having a one-night stand. Obviously, it is forced proximity. They kind of had a one-night stand and it was done. It was over with. It was at a college party. All of a sudden, they find themselves at the same summer camp, and that's like shocking. It was crazy. And I absolutely loved Russ and Aurora so much. They're the softest, most cutest couple on the planet. The narrators for Wildfire is Teddy Hamilton and Lauren Sweet. I think these narrators were absolutely fantastic. It was such a lovely read. They brought the characters to life in such a sweet little way. Teddy Hamilton did such a great job of doing Russ Callahan. I absolutely love Russ. He is the softest boy you'll ever meet, and I think because hockey players usually picture hockey players as being these really annoying, extroverted party animals, you know, players, and I feel like Russ is like the complete opposite. He's a complete teddy bear. He is the softest boy you'll ever meet in your life. I completely fell in love with this character. I think I love Russ more than I love Nate Hawkins. I think Nate Hawkins is a fun guy, and he was cute and he was hot and I was into him, but Russ is just, he holds my heart because he's like the greenest of green flags. Russ and Aurora both have emotional baggage, but the way that they just lean on each other and help each other and are there for each other was so wholesome and so beautiful and so amazing. I love them so much. It was a 5-star rate for me. I feel like Icebreaker was a 3.5 4 stars for me. Wildfire showed me who Hannah Grace truly is, and that she could write the most amazing book. Her writing from Icebreaker to Wildfire is so amazing, and that really shined through with this audiobook. Honestly, I feel like Teddy Hamilton is like a really seasoned narrator. I feel like he did a really great job with Russ. He's a very deep voice. Honestly, I do like him, but Jacob, I love you more. But I do think he did a really great job with Russ. I think my only critique is with Aurora. So Lauren Sweet narrates Aurora, and I did find Aurora a little annoying. Lauren Sweet's narration kind of grew on me over time as I was reading the book, and I really enjoyed it overall. If I'm not wrong, I think this audiobook is 10 hours, but it doesn't feel like 10 hours. It's just very easygoing, go with the flow as you're doing chores and working around the house or going for a drive to work or to school or to wherever you're going. And it was such a lovely listen. I love this book so much, and summertime is coming, so it's perfect time to read this book, so you totally should. I'm gonna remove my headset. I thought I could use it through the whole video, but I'm kind of feeling a little suffocated. So I'm gonna remove these. My throat's a little dry. Honestly, for an alcoholic drink, this is very good. Like, it's very fruity, it has a very fruity taste. It kind of tastes like Lifesavers a little bit, like gummy worms, gummy bears kind of vibe. I recommend this one. Let's move on to the next audiobook. So the next audiobook I want to talk to you about is The Only One Left by Riley Sager. So I've read a few Riley Sager books, but this one is my favorite. It will always be my favorite because this book is fantastic and the narration is also fantastic. I absolutely adore this book. So when you read kind of synopsis of this book, it just makes you want to read the audiobook because you know it's going to be so atmospheric and creepy and eerie. The plot of The Only One Left follows Kit, and she is a caregiver and she's assigned to go work at this really gothic old mansion that kind of looks over a cliff. It's very gothic and dark, and she's forced to kind of go take care of her patient there named Lenora Hope. And Lenora Hope is an elderly woman who is accused of killing her whole family decades before. So Lenora, she does not speak, she is wheelchair bound. Kit has to take care of her, but while Kit is taking care of her, weird things start to happen, obviously. And we are taking on this ride of what really happened all those decades ago with Lenora and her family, and it is such an amazing read. Oh my god, I was completely hooked right from the start. I did not want to stop reading this book. I was binging the audiobook. Any chance I get, I put on my earbuds and I was listening. I loved every part of this story with Lenora Hope. She was such an interesting character, and when we find out the truth of everything and what really happened that night, and there's so many twists in this book, your jaw will keep dropping over and over and over again. Like, you literally have to pause your phone and just stare at a wall because you're like, oh my god, what just happened? What am I listening to? That is how amazing this audiobook is, and this book in general. This audiobook is narrated by Christine Lacken and Dawn Harvey. It is 12 hours long, but trust me, it does not feel like 12 hours. You will just keep going. It is such a fast-paced, addictive read. You will never want to stop. Both these women did such a great job of bringing both characters to life. Perfect book to read for Halloween, or if you're just in the mood for a more gothic, creepy kind of story. I highly recommend this book. I really loved how the author set up the story and the build up of it all. The tension was amazing. It was creepy. I didn't know what to think. There were so many, I had a lot of theories of what I thought was going on, but I was completely wrong, and I actually loved it because usually with thrillers I'm pretty good at guessing the twists, but here I got nothing. I literally got no. I was completely wrong, and I was so happy that I was wrong because it made it for such an exciting story. These two narrators brought the story to life, and it gave me chills while reading the story because there were some parts in the book that were just so creepy. It's just something about, like, you know, being in a creepy old house with a potential murderer that'll just make your skin crawl, and I feel like these narrators just brought that to life. Especially, like, you think, you know, Lenora, she's in her 70s. She's still a potential murder suspect, so, you know, it was kind of crazy. I really loved how Riley Sager just brought so much little details to the story about the history of the house, the characters, how each individual just had so much background, and it just felt like these were real characters. This felt like a real true crime thing I was listening to. It was just so ominous. I just didn't know where this book was going, and I kind of like the slow burn buildup of it all. And this book takes place in the 80s, which I absolutely loved. I love anything set in the 80s, so that was just a bonus point for me. I highly recommend this book. I did give it 5 stars. I was debating on giving it like 4.5 because yes, there was so many unexpected twists, but is there such a thing as too many twists? Because maybe this one did have a little too many twists, but honestly, I feel like I enjoy this book as a whole, so I just gave it a 5 stars, and I feel like I would still give it a 5 stars. I would reread it again in the future. I want to keep into the more horror audiobook because last summer I also read My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix, and this was fantastic. I would usually listen to this on my walk. Best Friend's Exorcism is only 10 hours long. It is narrated by Emily Wu Zeller, and I thought the narrator did such a great job with the story. If you're a little bit of like, you don't like horror that much, you still want to kind of read some horror books, but you're a little bit of a scaredy cat, I really think that you should read this one because it is horror, but in a very campy, fun way. So it would kind of gross you out and kind of be very creepy, but it'll also make you laugh and kind of just be like, what is happening? This is so weird. So this book follows friendship and demonic possession. When I heard this book took place in the 80s, I was instantly drawn to it. Abby and Gretchen are best friends since they were kids, but then suddenly Gretchen starts to act a little weird. And when Abby starts to kind of investigate what is happening to her best friend, well, her best friend has been taken over by a demon. So it is so good. You seen the movie Drag Me to Hell? It was a horror movie, but it was kind of funny and camp. I feel like that's how I would describe my best friend's exorcism. It is just very fun. It's nostalgic. If you were raised in the 80s, this will definitely bring you back to the 80s. It's very nostalgic. It made me nostalgic, and I was born in 2000. So it was just such a fun time, and it also brought a lot of teen angst, and so much was happening in the story. I absolutely loved all the supernatural elements that happened. 80s setting, the fashion, the music, the pop culture of that time was done so well. I absolutely loved it. There is one scene that will definitely gross you out, because even I was grossed out in this one scene. It completely disgusted me. If you've listened or read this book, you will definitely know which scene I am talking about, because I was literally jaw dropped at what was happening. And I just really loved Abby. I really loved the friendship in this book. Abby and Gretchen, like, their friendship was just so amazing, and I really loved how Abby just never gave up on Gretchen. Usually in horror, the men are so stupid, or the family just doesn't believe, and I really just love how they kept that kind of aspect in this book. And I just, even though I kind of wish that the parents were just more like, oh, my daughter is rotting in her bed and her voice is changing, maybe I should take her to see a psychologist or maybe a priest, I don't know. So like, I think the narrators did such a good job. It was very easy to listen to. I highly recommend the audiobook for this book. Again, I feel like some books just made to be read in audiobook, and I feel like My Best Friend's Exorcism is one of those books. I really just love how spooky and fun it was and how campy. I was not expecting to love this one as much as I did. I gave it 5 stars. I would reread it again. I feel like this book is perfect for summer week. I think the end was probably the best part of this book, and there was just some things, it actually made me giggle and laugh. Totally recommend this book. Please go read it. So I'm gonna go back now to a romance book, which you saw right in the beginning when I showed it to you, because I'm currently reading it, and it is Favorite. I am in between reading it on Kindle and audiobook. I've mostly been reading it on audiobook because the audiobook is so amazing, and Favorite is just so well done on audiobook. So Favorite is a pretty short audiobook. It is only 9 hours, and guess who it's narrated by? Zachary Weber, aka Jacob Morgan. So obviously I'm in love with this book. I feel like Jacob Morgan does such a good job of bringing Fisher to life. I am completely in love with Fisher. So this book is basically about, Fisher is a burned out chef. He is responsible for his niece now. He has lost his job at his Michelin star restaurant because he lost a Michelin star. So he's kind of just at the bottom of the barrel right now. His boss kind of gives him an assignment to go move to Spoon, Oregon, kind of redeem himself in Spoons, get this new restaurant up and running in this town. So then we have Sage. She lives in Spoons, and she's a teacher. I absolutely love Sage as the main character of this book. Her parents have died, so she lives in their house, and she literally has chickens and geese and dogs and cats, and she grows her own vegetables, and she has her own garden. For the life that she lives is definitely for the cottagecore girlies. It is definitely something that I would love to experience, just having your own horse and chickens and growing your own vegetables. It just sounds like such a fun lifestyle, and I absolutely love her character. I absolutely love her and Fisher together. They're so cute, and they just have so much depth in their relationship. The communication between them is so fantastic. There's no miscommunication here. If Fisher says something that Sage does not like, she will tell him how she feels, and he will learn her perspective and see things in her way. And same with Sage with Fisher. The way they talk to each other and they're so open with each other is so fantastic and so refreshing in this book. If you ever felt kind of burned out by life, like your life just feels like it's crashing all around you, I feel you'll definitely relate to Fisher. I love Fisher with his niece Indy. I love seeing them kind of grow and bond together, especially because they have so much grief. The small town charm is also so beautiful, and there's just so much feelings in this book, and I feel like the audiobook just made those feelings so real, and I feel like you'll easily just get so emotional while reading this book, and it's just so beautiful and so cute. has so much summer fun within the story, but it also just has so much emotional sides to it. There's also a sprinkle of fake dating in it, and it will just give you like all the warm feelings inside. And definitely the audiobook just adds to it all. It just makes it so much better than just you reading it yourself. I feel like the audiobook just made them feel so real, and even the small town Spoons, Oregon feels so real. Like I would love to go live there. The characters are just so charming and flirty and cute and kind of hot. Like Fisher makes me blush. He is hot as heck. There is a town meeting that will totally remind you of Gilmore Girls, and it was fantastic. It was so fun. While you're reading it, there's so many like fun moments, but there's also just always an undercurrent of emotion through these characters, through the storyline. It's kind of just make your heart clench up. I just love how layered these characters are. I love how they start off as strangers to friends with benefits to lovers. It was so good. I have only 2 hours left of this audiobook, so I'll probably finish it today. So the audiobook definitely lives up to the quality of the story. The female narrator Carissa Vacker made a story so much fun to listen to. I definitely feel like the audiobook is the best way to experience this really heartwarming, charming, beautiful story between Fisher and Sage. It's just so good. It's definitely going to be a 5-star read for me, unless the ending goes completely cockeyed, which I think it's not, because I'm just so in love with this book. So yeah, I definitely recommend this book. So this is the end of my video. Thank you guys for watching. I had such a fun time coming up with this list of audiobooks that you should listen to. In the past year and a half, I've read a ton of audiobooks, and these ones are just the ones that stood out to me in my opinion. So I hope you add them to your TBR and you read them. I would love to know your opinion in the comment section below. So yeah, thank you guys for coming here. Till next time, bye guys!